Hi, everybody. It is Christy with Planted Places, and I am excited because I'm going live today, and I'm bringing on a very, very special person. Kaylee Vaughn from Rooted Revival, and we have a really special partnership and collaboration that we're announcing. And so this is really for all the Planted Places members, but really also for everybody out there that wants to learn how to grow food in small spaces and not worry about having any knowledge, know what you're doing. I mean, this is what we're doing at Planted Places. So I'm so excited to bring Kaylee on and have her talk with me a little bit about what we're doing together. So let me see here. It looks like she is coming in, and let me get her in here. So go ahead, Kaylee, and go ahead and ask to come on in so I can get you in here. Okay. So while she's doing that, let me see here. Just want to grab her in here. Perfect. And great. So you guys, this is so exciting. I know last week Angela talked with Kaylee over at Kaylee's. So there she is.
Hello.
Hi, Kaylee. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. There you are with all your plants. I'm so excited to bring you to everybody. And you have been such an inspiration for us. And I know last week you and Angela talked with all your members and talked about the membership. And I thought, let's introduce you to our world as well. And it just goes from here. But guys, this is kind of the official countdown. July 1st, Kaylee's partnership kicks off, right? So I know, I'm so excited. So I would love for you to talk about, you and what you've done. And I mean, you're homesteading and you're teaching people, and I want to give time for you to do that. I want to really tell everybody what is so excited for Planted Places. Everybody knows we've got this membership, and we talk about getting planted and getting grounded and getting nourished, and with you we get to get rooted. So it's Get Rooted with Rooted Revival, because that is Kaylee's business. And you guys, she is going to be our gardening guru. She knows everything there is to know. I mean, I always laugh at myself, right? Because I'm the person who's like, I learned how to do this, and I'm learning as I go, and we're teaching everybody, and it is all about the soil. And you are such an expert, and I'm so excited because you guys, for members, we're going to be going live periodically throughout the month, and I'm so excited because I always have questions. I'm going to be like, okay, Kaylee, what's this? What's this? In real time, we're going to be able to help our members, and I'm very excited. So tell us about you and kind of how you got to where you are.
We live in Western Washington on a 2-acre permaculture homestead that we're developing. We actually just got here about a year ago. Before that, we were in the high desert of Idaho doing a similar thing, but on a much smaller piece of property. It was about 3/4 of an acre. So
Okay. Wow.
A small space, right? So you've got to be really intentional, which is one of the things I love about Planted Places is, it just packs so much into tiny little spots and nooks and crannies. Look how much I've got growing just right here. So we are, always striving to try and do things the most natural, ecologically sound way possible. So we do a lot of our own, amendments for our soil. We try to recycle as much as we can on our own property, using our resources the best that we can. And my business helps other people learn how to do the same thing. So I am a garden coach. I have clients all over the US who I help them learn how to grow their own food using natural processes. And I'm also a certified permaculture designer. So I do some design projects where, I get to look at people's property and help them figure out how to lay it out, how to make the most of their resources. And it's really just the best job in the world, being able to help people learn how to grow their food in a sustainable way.
I bet. I mean, isn't it inspiring? I feel like it's so neat when you work with people and then you just see where they think they can't do something, and then all of a sudden they start doing it and they're so proud of it, and it makes you feel so good because you know that feeling, right? When you learn and you have success, right?
Well, we've all been there, right? We're all still learning, so it's so much fun because I see so much of myself in them. When we started out, we never gardened. We didn't know what we were doing.
Right.
It just really, it's such a fun journey to go on with people and to watch them have that pride and that excitement that you get.
Exactly.
So
maybe that's why we're such kindred spirits, because we kind of have this in terms of like, we didn't do it before. We didn't go to school to learn this, right? And then we learned, and then you saw the success. And I think that I love your name, the Rooted Revival, because I mean, that is, for us, it is all about how can we teach people about the soil and how you regenerate that soil. And it's so important in so many aspects. I mean, you and I could go on forever. We'll have to do that in the future. But I mean, to the point that we can bring this to people, even if they're living in small spaces, or maybe they have a space, but they don't want to put a raised bed there, but they want to grow food. We had that concept of a kitchen garden, which is so important, right? Just the ease of it, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think it's so important to learn how to grow in a variety of ways, because none of us are guaranteed to always have, the ability or the space or the time, or, the really to be able to garden in the ways that we're used to. We might not always be able to make it out to the raised beds. So it's good to have all these other methods and all these other tricks and ways of doing things, so that, you're adapting to whatever changes life may bring without a ton of disruption.
I love that. Whatever changes life may bring, because it brings a lot of changes, doesn't it? Yeah, no,
it does.
Yeah, exactly. Like, especially in summer, right? Where like we're seeing this right now, people go on vacation, and then, and then you come back and you're like, oh God, what just happened?
Right. Like you just did.
I just did. And I was like, wow, there's some great things. And then there's some things, but it's great learning. I mean, I think that's what's so important. And I think also what's really good learning for the Planted Places members and people that just will watch us is you're growing in a very different environment than I'm growing in, right? And so people can see that difference. And I think that is so. And I was going to ask you, like, how do you do that today because I'm sure you've got clients everywhere. Like, how do you talk to them about those different differences and think about that?
So one of the things I do with my clients is when they come up with a question and they're like, oh, I'm seeing this on my plants. So the first things I ask is, okay, like, what's the weather been like? How is, how hot has it been? How cold has it been? Has it been wet? Has it been dry? Because the environment has such a huge effect on our plants and the plant health that really, like, a lot of times we can look at these things and they might look like other things. But if we get to the root of it and we can figure out, the bigger picture of why this is happening, working with nature's processes is always the easiest way to solve problems, right?
So true.
So that's why we try to look at the whole picture. It's more of a holistic approach than saying, oh, it's leaf spot and just spray this on it. Let's look at the environment.
So many variables.
They're going to benefit you long term, because when you work with nature, it makes your job easier. It makes your processes more streamlined, and it's just better overall for your environment. So that's what we try to do.
Well, and what I think is kind of cool that I think it's good that you're going to bring to this as well, which is, you talk about that ecosystem. And, I've had the benefit of doing this for a number of years now. So I have all these native plants also in my backyard. So, I've got nature, right? I've got I know all these, just pollinators going crazy. And I have noticed over time, just the disease of my plants, like, whoo, really going down, right? And part of that is the soil, a regenerated soil. The worms are in there. Every time I go to replenish, like, wow, there's lots of worms found their way in here.
Right.
Right.
Well, and understanding those cycles that nature has, and, giving a place for the predatory insects to live, so that when there is a problem, you've got those allies and you've got those helpers that are going to come to your rescue, versus you having to do it all. And it takes a while to establish that. So that's so cool to hear that you're already seeing the progress, because it does start changing the environment so quickly. And the more and more you work towards that, you really do see the benefits.
You do. And I think that's a big lesson for people, which is just be patient, guys. Like, I know a lot of times, we get our new members in, and that's the hard thing, right? Because when you're brand new at something, we want to get them to success as fast as we can, because that's super important. And so we actually kind of do a combination where we'll get them to plants that we know are just kind of easy, like really hard to kill these ones, right? and then some that are more challenging. But I always like to put in like edible flowers, right? And so that's actually a question I have for you, because it's such I was doing chamomile, and I love chamomile, and I love to eat it fresh. And I love on your, so everybody go over to @RootedRevival Instagram, because you just posted your herb garden illustrations, and you guys, Kaylee is the most, you're so talented. You've got like 5 different lives here that you're living all at the same time.
It's so crazy.
Such a beautiful illustrator. And so you have chamomile on there, I noticed. And I was looking, I'm like, I think I'm growing every herb on your illustration there, except for maybe one of them. I think the verbena. I was like, one of them I'm growing. So I'm like, okay, gotta get that one.
I love it.
Yeah. But that chamomile, it was funny. I was thinking about, of course, went away for vacation, just for a week,
Yeah.
come back. You know, I have my planted walls, they're irrigating. So everything's nice and happy, but man, there's a lot of bolting going on. And the chamomile, of course, is bolting and it wants to flower. So here's my question. I was thinking maybe I should let it flower so that it's attracting some bees. What do you think?
Absolutely. So the
Yep.
flower heads are not only like insects love them, like your pollinators will come. I've seen everything from, you know, giant butterflies on them, bees,
Yes.
several different kinds. We even had a butterfly moth one year, which are just incredible. Visit the patch. So
Yeah.
absolutely light flower. But the thing is with the chamomile flowers, you can actually use them as well. So for instance, that's really what you can dry for teas. You can use them fresh in teas. So the flowers themselves are completely edible. They actually have that same little like appley, it's almost like an apple flavor.
Right,
You know,
right.
when you smell chamomile tea, it's got it tastes just like it smells, I swear.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
It's true. It's funny because I was tasting. I was like, because I'm always doing the tea, and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah,
right.
it's just a little bit more powerful punch. That's the the biggest difference.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, that's so great. Well, I do also want to say to everybody that we've got this month to kick off, you know, Kaylee joining us. We're doing a free month to new members for Rooted Revival customers. So, and then any other people out in the Instagram stratosphere or outside that want to come into the Planted membership kind of through learning about this, Rooted is our discount code. Rooted gives you a first free month of our membership, which is a big deal because you get a lot of that first month. We power a lot of stuff in there. It's I always laugh because I'm like, probably charging like 4 or 5x what we're charging for that first month because they get a lot, you know, because that learning curve is so steep, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But then I think
it's such a good time too. I mean, a lot of people think it's almost too late, and it's not too late to do so many things. It's actually the ideal time to start a lot of stuff as well for fall. So I know it's crazy to already be thinking that way, but a lot of the stuff that, you know, you get now and you're going to be harvesting, you know, in the next month. And luckily, you know, we get such great seedlings from you guys that you already have that jump. Yep, so it's definitely not too late to get started. It's a great time. Once the summer's kind of, I feel like after 4th of July, it kind of calms down anyways in life usually. Right. So it's a good time.
See, okay, and I'm so glad you said that because this is one of the things that I'm so excited about for us is because I think for everybody that's thinking, well, gosh, do I do the raised bed or do I do the small container gardening? And it's like, you do both. And this is what I'm excited about because I have some raised beds that I kind of started and I've had so many problems with it. And it's part of it is because I have to admit, I need you because I'm busy focusing on the wall and the containers, right? But what's good about it is I'm growing certain things there, right? I'm doing my lettuces and I'm doing my herbs and I'm doing my leafy greens. And these are my quick things. I come out from the kitchen, boom, boom. And then it's like, I want to do my raised bed for like those, you know, obviously like squash and some of the stuff that you're doing. The bigger stuff. Yeah, exactly. So that's what I think would be kind of neat for those members. Oh, you got you. I love it. Come bring
my puppy is barking at the pony. I should be the pony's laying down for a nap, and he's like, "Play with me." Only in my life.
I know you're like limited to like, okay, it's been 10 minutes. We got to stop because I
know. I'm like, oh my gosh, so sorry.
Like, on the homestead. I know.
About a old puppy and a mini puppy in your yard, apparently.
Oh. Well, for me, it's the challenge of okay, any minute now, the blower, you know, it's going to come and start blowing my yard. So I'm like,
right. It's fine. We all got our things, but
we got our things.
Like you were saying. Really, I always try and tell my clients, like, let's set you up for early successes, you know, and if that's having your, you know, your wall or your potted plants that you know you can go, you can get your herbs, you can get your greens, do that. And then while you're building those other skills and those bigger areas, or even when you're developing them, you know, we start with a lot of annual plants and things like that. So while our perennials are growing and, you know, growing in them longer, you know, so same kind of concept. Start small, get those early successes, start learning the processes, and then keep building on those.
Right,
so
exactly.
This is such a great way to do it too.
It is, and I'm kind of doing it right now in very large containers where I'm doing I don't know if you can see behind me here, but I got like this tomato. I got the sun gold. Good God, it's a tree. I've got about 5 of these. So I have like a portable raised beds plus all my walls. I got like 3 or 4 walls. Like, so when I come home back from vacation, it's like, oh yeah. But I did make a recording earlier for our members because I did a little interview of like, okay, here I am coming back. Here's what it looks like. So I'm excited to share that for the members later. And then I'm absolutely excited to share our partnership and what we're doing. Yes. So we can jump into it as we get into the month. Oh, also one more thing I want to say that you're doing is Kaylee's going to be doing a weekly journal for us. So you're going to be chronicling, your growing with the Planted membership. So, and just what you're finding, right? The learnings that you're getting and
and what we're seeing, how we're adapting it, so it'll be really fun, because I do have so much experience, with raised beds and some container gardening, but like this is such a different process with the wall. So I'm really excited to see how the season goes with it. And I'm excited
for our members. I can't even tell you. Like they're going to be so ecstatic. I know they will, because it's just, you're going to bring such a wealth of information, in terms of just going beyond the container gardening as well, but also just that instant access to like what's going on here, what's happening here, that kind of thing. So really excited for it.
Well, thank you so much for
Kaylee,
letting me come on with you guys and letting me share this experience. I'm super excited about it.
Oh, awesome. It's going to be fun. So good. So I'll see you very soon.
Yes.
Live again for everybody. Exactly. All right. You take care.
Wonderful. Okay. Have a great day.
Right.
Thanks,
have a
everybody.
good 4th of July. Have a good 4th of July. Yeah, I know. It's like, oh my gosh, it's coming.
Yes.
All right. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye. Thanks.